Hello everyone, today is October 27th, 2025. Supposed to be on vacation this week, but a $36 part changed all that. Let's get into it. Yes, a $36 part. Okay, when we did our house in 2016 via True Homes, you get to pick the floor plan. You get to pick your finishes. So it's semi-custom house on their floor plans. Only problem is I didn't get to pick where to put certain things. We have a 2-story house, 2,309 square foot, True Homes. And they put our mechanical room upstairs. Our water heater and our heat pump. As soon as you climb up the top of the steps, there's a little hallway, and then there's a room that has the mechanicals, the hot water heater and our heat pump. I seldom go in that room except when I change my air filters every couple months. So I did upgrade our water heater to a gas water heater because my wife wanted gas stove for cooking at the house. So I went ahead and spent the extra $600 or $800 and got a gas water heater. And it's upstairs. They do have a drain pan, and the drain pan goes to the outside. But they also have this $36 part that's making us to remodel our house. So let's look at the aftermath of this. How much damage can that little tank cause? That tank is a $36 tank above my gas water heater. And it does have a pan that drains. I'm going to go ahead and change this water heater out. But if you notice, it's plywood floor now. The bait meat company had to cut all this out. They had to cut out drywall in the ceiling in the kitchen. But they took out the laminate here, all the carpet here. You can see the water stains. The carpet all in the master kitchen, main bathroom, which you can see the stains. They even took, if you notice, baseboards. That's the only piece of baseboard we had left. My heat pump. The laminate there and there was the same as it's supposed to be in the mechanical room. And I left the carpets in the 2 bedrooms. But everywhere else, this is downstairs. And you see they cut it past the joist, so I'm gonna have to cut it more to the next joist. And the same thing over here. But they're gonna cut it all the way down to the end. But since this room is done too, they're gonna have to paint this whole ceiling. And they're gonna have to cut this back to a joist. Yep. I got home 4 or 5 hours after she went to work. stepped upstairs and noticed the carpet was wet. And then she went to investigate and noticed that little canister was leaking. She called me up. She said, what am I supposed to do? I was like, shut the water off. So she sent me a picture. I told her where the water shut off valve is. And then the next morning, she had the plumber come out. And it's a $36 part. He charged me right at $160 to change the part out and the fitting. I could have done it if I was home. Like I said, I'm out here trucking. And I knew there was some water, but she didn't tell me how bad. So he come out Tuesday. She was vacuuming up the water. I thought it was all cleared up. Well, Wednesday morning, she had to call Service Master. It was Service Master. I'm out. And which in turn, they had to rip out all the drywall in the kitchen and part of the dining room, all the carpet up for the most part upstairs, except the other two bedrooms. It's a nightmare. Here's some of the fans they had at our house. There's probably about 10 to 15 of the blue ones, and the two of the big air dryers also. But just some of the fans they had at our house for a week, drying the floor. All just before they cut the rest of the carpet up. There's in the master bedroom. There was 4 fans just in the master bedroom alone. This is before they cut more carpet out Saturday. And I showed you a little bit of audio of how loud the fans were. There was, what, 5 or 6 downstairs with it just alone. This is the photos of where they made an attempt to take the ceiling out. And this is the aftermath of the ceiling. I got home, I found out Wednesday I was having an insurance claim. My first ever insurance claim. I'll be 53 years old here in a couple days. My first ever insurance claim, car or truck or whatever. Get a house claim. My wife didn't tell me how bad it was until after I got the email saying, State Farm's got an insurance claim. So I called work. They had me bring a load up to New Holland, Pennsylvania. And I called them up, and then they had me a load to pick up and go down to Food Line in Greencastle, Pennsylvania, which I knew I was going to sit there for 6 to 7 hours. I called them up because the next load after that was back at New Holland, going by Georgia, where I could have brought the load close to the house and gone home. I would have been home Thursday before noon if I would have got that load from New Holland back to Georgia instead of doing that Greencastle, Pennsylvania load. But they had no one else. And my wife didn't tell me how bad it was. She didn't want to worry me. That's the only reason she didn't tell me how bad things were. But they had no one to cover, so I had to deliver that load, so I couldn't get home till Friday afternoon. And by that time, they had the drywall ripped out downstairs, which I already showed you the video. The fans going, and they were ripping out the carpet upstairs. In turn, the next day they came out and finished ripping out the carpets. Which in turn, they also ripped out our baseboards. So, we had the fans blowing in our house since Thursday to Wednesday. And then dehumidifiers. And talk about trying to sleep with all those fans going. But we had to dry the house out to put back new. I got home Friday and I looked at the water heater and I'm like, we're changing this water heater. The bottom of it looks kind of rusted. I showed it in the video. So I spent $900 at Lowe's, get a new water heater. I'm now waiting for that same plumber to come out and change it out. And we went ahead and we are changing the floors upstairs because they ripped up the carpet. They ripped out the baseboards. We're not going with carpet upstairs. We're going to go with a hardwood laminate. A lot cheaper. Labor's more expensive, but more durable. So, and we're also, my wife's like, well, we'll just won't do the small 2-bedroom. Like, no, we're doing it all upstairs. We're doing the bedrooms, the hallway, the sitting room upstairs, because otherwise we will not match. Dealing with State Farm, my agent finally got the right things done, I guess, because she came out Friday. I had thought Service Master was going to come and put the drywall back up on the walls, but Service Master does not. Like I said, I didn't know nothing about this till Service Master was already at the house. They came Wednesday, they took the fans away, said, see ya. I asked her, when are you coming back to do the drywall? Oh, that's not us. You have to find somebody. Huh? So I took last week off. I didn't get in until Friday afternoon because I had to deliver that Greencastle, Pennsylvania food line. And then go back to the plant I was just at in New Holland to go home, which I got home Friday afternoon. I talked to my agent Wednesday, and he was able to send photos, bills, etc. to this adjuster for State Farm. He also had somebody who he knows does remodels. So he was able to come out the same time she was, because she had to look at the house and take photos, etc. of all the damage on a $36 part. So my vacation was last week dealing with contractors. My wife's this week, when we were supposed to go away, was this week. So she's home dealing with contractors now. And then he had to tell her, no, we're going to have to get more drywall because Service Master didn't put it to joist where they have something to screw up to. So, yeah, this is going to be fun on a $36 part. I hate to see what Service Master bill is. I've yet to see anything from them. I haven't got the quote for putting the ceiling back up, painting the ceiling, the whole downstairs, the drywall upstairs in the mechanical room, which that paint don't matter because, like I said, we seldom go in that room and no one else goes in that room. And we're going to have Lowe's come out. My wife works at Lowe's, and we got a good discount on hardwood floors. And we're going to have hardwood floors put down and carpet on the steps. To put hardwood laminate on the steps was $2,250 on labor. The carpet is like $800. That's for Stainmaster, the better carpet. We'll do Stainmaster. So, luckily it did not happen when we were on vacation and gone, because 3-4 hours of that water did that much damage. I hate to see what I would do if I was gone for 4 days or a week. How many people turn off the water when they go on vacation? I never think about it. I will from now on. So, my vacation was sitting around the house waiting on contractors and insurance agents and adjusters. I'm back to work. I don't know how long I'll leave this video up, but y'all have a great day. Hopefully State Farm will get things done. I could get these floors put back down and the drywall back up here next week or so. Time will tell. But at least it's dried out and the bad is taken out. But on a $36 part, did all this damage. My buddy said, my little issue at the house. Little.